Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It always seems impossible until it's done. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer, and thus emerge stronger. You don't have that idea when you are arrogant, superficial, and uninformed. The greatest gift in life is to be remembered. Lead from the back, and let others believe they are in front. I detest racialism because I regard it as a barbaric thing, whether it comes from a black man or a white man. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. Difficulties break some men but make others. No axe is sharp enough to cut the soul of a sinner who keeps on trying, one armed with the hope that he will rise even in the end. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. Money won't create success, the freedom to make it will. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Courageous people do not fear forgiving, for the sake of peace. The power of education extends beyond the development of skills. It is also about empowering people to make their own choices and to shape their own destinies. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that a son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference. The greatest weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. We must strive to be moved by a generosity of spirit that will enable us to outgrow the hatred and conflicts of the past. One of the things I learned when I was negotiating was that until I changed myself, I could not change others. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Action without vision is only passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming, but vision with action can change the world. In the end, reconciliation is a spiritual process. It requires more than just political goodwill and a sound legislative framework. It has to happen in the hearts and minds of people. Let freedom reign. The sun never set on so glorious a human achievement.